Okay, so I don't know if you can, how much you can tell, but there's a pretty significant sheen on this now, which is what I expected the first time I coated it with the glue, and it is quite a bit tacky. So I'm going to show you that little process again and show you how it makes a difference, and even if you get too much, it won't matter. So I'm just going to kind of dump some here. And try not to stir it up too much because, you know, rumor is this gives you cancer, so hold your breath. All right, so just kind of work it in there really well. And like I said, if you get too much, it's okay. And try to only put your fingers in places where you've already done it, because it will stick if you've got any glue remaining on your fingers, and possibly pull it up, which is bad. So there's one side, side two. And the great thing about using a makeup brush for this is it really picks up all the powder, so you don't have as much of a mess in the end. So it looks like there's a couple of places where I might have this a little bit thick, but just continue to rub at it with the brush and really work it in there, and it will push the excess out. And if it's too cloudy looking, you can very quickly just dab at it with a wet napkin or a baby wipe or something, and it will pull the excess off. You just don't want to saturate it, because then you'll have to start over again. So there's that one. We'll do this one really quickly. And you might be able to hear my boys, I think. I don't know if they're watching football, if they're watching golf, but something exciting just happened. So here's this one. It doesn't feel tacky at all anymore. And I'm not too concerned about having too much on here, because this is going to be covered in lace. And then let's see, just make sure also you hit the edges, because that's where I'm holding my fingers and I'm getting the most tackiness. And that's the part that gets handled the most. So just really rubbing it in there really good. Do the flip side, and as you can see, it really doesn't take away from the sealant. It just really just affects the texture so that it's not tacky. And I will probably put this in my shop for sale. And you never, oh, sorry about that, guys. You never know where it's going to go. I mean, I don't think there's any places that are much more humid than where I am, because it's hot. But you never know. So here is the 3 pieces. At this point, I need to make a decision on closure, because if I'm going to do seam binding, and I think I'm going to, I will need to put that in now while I'm adhering all 3 pieces together. So I am going to go pick out some seam binding. I have a lot. I was very fortunate that my sister-in-law let me raid a house that she and her husband inherited, that there was a lot of sewing items in there, so I got a lot of free stuff. Thank you, Rachel. So I'm going to go pick out a color that coordinates with this, and we'll be back. So what I'll probably do before the next video is I will get the seam binding ready. I will pick out a coordinating paper for the inside, and I will press these straight. So when I come back, you will see the journal together. And I don't know, maybe I will show you how I put all this together, fabric. I am going to get another piece of cardstock and have fabric over it, and when I adhere it, this part's going to be hollow so that I can slip ribbon underneath, and that's what's going to tie the signatures in so that they're removable. I could use elastic, and I have some, but I'm going for something a little bit more dainty looking. So I will come back with all those decisions made, and we will work on this and probably finish it up. So we will see you in the next video. Thanks so much.